Gardeners, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. I hope all of you are staying safe and are doing well. July is finally here. Our summer gardens are in full swing. Unfortunately, many home gardeners, and maybe you're one of them, have stopped planting crops altogether. Why? Because maybe you think it's too late in the growing season, or maybe you're tired and overwhelmed with all the pests and the disease that have been taking over your home gardens. However, in today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 crops which you could still plant in the month of July, no matter where you live in this world. So for those of you looking for that online gardening channel, which offers tips, tricks, easy yet proven gardening advice to take your home gardens to the next level, I'm going your guys, stick around with me today. Stop with going below this video and clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell icon as well if you enjoyed the content of my videos, and on YouTube to send you notifications every single time I'll upload a new video. Now come with me, let's get gardening. July is rather a long month. So if you plant any, if not all of these crops now, not only are you going to extend your summer harvest, you're also going to get a head start on your fall gardens as well. So what makes these 10 crops perfect to plant now in the month of July? Not only are they quick germinating, they're quick growing, and they absolutely love the heat and the sun as well. They will germinate in less than a week and will be ready for you to harvest them in about 6 to 8 weeks after sowing, which is perfect for end of summer harvest and fall harvest as well. Let's dive right into those veggies number 1 and veggie number 2. That vegetable number 1, which is perfect to sow and grow in the month of July, is our cucumbers. I know that many of us home gardeners have sown our cucumbers mid-spring season, and we're busy harvesting and growing these beauties. But our cucumber plants are only good for about 60 to 90 days. After those 60 to 90 days, our crops get tired, exhausted. Plus, they get overwhelmed with all the pests and disease that take place during the hot summer months. You can succession plant your cucumbers the entire summer season. You can direct sow them as well. No need to start them in seed starting trays anymore. Cucumbers love the heat, love the humidity. They will germinate in less than a week, and you'll be ready to harvest them in as little as 6 weeks. Another great thing about cucumbers is that you can grow them in raised beds, in the soil of your home garden, even in pots or containers. I have some cucumbers growing right over here in these 10-gallon size containers, and look how beautiful they look. Look how many flower blooms and how many cucumbers are growing right over there. There's absolutely no reason not to plant more beautiful, crunchy, delicious cucumbers. What is that vegetable number 2? That vegetable is squash. Summer squash or zucchini. Zucchini loves the sun and the summer heat. Just like cucumbers, it will germinate in less than a week, and you'll be ready to harvest it in as little as 6 to 8 weeks. A beautiful squash growing right over here. Let me show you guys. Look at those huge squash right over there. Look at all the flower blooms as well. I have multiple squash varieties growing already. But just like cucumbers, they will get overwhelmed, tired, taken over with pests and disease. So plant more and you'll get to harvest sweet, juicy squash all summer long and into the fall seasons. I know that I just showed you my established squash plants, which I planted mid-spring season. But I wanted to bring you right over here to this raised bed and to show you the 2 summer zucchini plants, which I have just recently planted. You could see that they're much smaller in sizing, and they haven't yet produced any blooms nor fruit. But I, just like you, my fellow home gardeners, want to extend my summer harvest season. And of course, get a head start on the fall gardening as well. So if you have that extra raised garden bed or an extra container, why not plant more crops? Why not sow more seeds? Again, with this heat and the risk of all frost far, far behind us, these seeds will germinate before you even know it. And if you give it plenty of moisture, little bit of mulching, your plants will thrive and grow for you and produce huge, huge harvests. Third crop that is perfect to plant and grow now in the month of July. That crop is a part of a cucurbit family, just like cucumbers, and that crop is melon, but not just any melon variety, my fellow home gardeners. Small melon varieties. Why? Because they germinate in less than a week, produce fruit rather quickly, and are ready for harvesting in as little as 6 to 8 weeks. Unlike many of the larger melon varieties, they take as long as 90 to 120 days from sowing to harvest. I planted 2 small melon varieties right over here in my raised garden beds. Look how quickly they grew. Look how many flowers they're already producing. And I'm seeing small melons forming right over there. Why did I plant them right here, right now in the month of July? Because I was finally able to harvest my delicious fragrant garlic. And I wanted to show you how huge these garlic heads are. I can't even believe my eyes. Remember, we planted this together with you, my fellow home gardeners, last fall season. So for those of you who are interested in seeing how I plant and grow my garlic in the fall and harvest it now, end of June, beginning of July, I still have the video available on my gardening channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor, and I will link it up above for those of you who are interested in seeing that video as well. Plant those small melons now, my fellow home gardeners, and enjoy the sweet, juicy flavor. And who doesn't like a sweet, delicious melon now during this hot summer heat? The crop number 4 that is perfect to plant now in the month of July. The crop, believe it or not, are our tomatoes. I know the majority of us home gardeners already planted tomatoes sometime during spring season. Many of us are already harvesting our tomatoes, enjoying the sweet, juicy fruit. Some of us are still waiting to harvest our tomatoes. But guess what, my fellow home gardeners? Very soon, before we know it, our spring planted tomatoes will be tired, will be exhausted, will stop producing fruit altogether, will experience flower bud drop, will be taken over by pests or disease. So why not plant more tomatoes now in the month of July? But not just any tomatoes, my fellow home gardeners. Determinate tomato varieties. Why? Because determinate tomato varieties versus indeterminate mature and grow much, much quicker. Majority of the tomato varieties which we plant in the spring happen to be indeterminate tomato varieties, such as our beefsteak tomatoes. The larger tomato varieties that we use to harvest during the summer seasons happen to be indeterminate. If you plant those now, they will not be mature enough. They will not be ripe enough for you to harvest. They'll be smaller in sizing that you would want them to be. However, if you plant the determinate tomato varieties, which ripen, grow, and mature much quicker, you'll be ready to harvest them right around late summer, beginning of fall seasons. You could see these huge, tall tomatoes that have grown right over here. Quite a few of them. You could see the beautiful yellow flower blooms. There are lots and lots of fruit on them as well. But these are not the determinate varieties. Hence, I cannot start a new succession planting of those. I did start a determinate tomato planting right over here. Yes, I know that this is in a container. However, this is a cherry tomato that will grow, set fruit, and will be ready for harvesting in less than 2 months, which is absolutely perfect. Fifth crop that is perfect to plant now in the month of July are our potatoes. But not just your traditional potato varieties such as Yukon Gold or the white or the Norland Red, but also sweet potato varieties. Sweet potatoes scream heat, summer, and a sun. Just take a look at these guys who can't wait to get out of this bag. They're already started to grow. In fact, if you have any available space in your home garden and a trellis laying around, your sweet potatoes will thank you tremendously. These guys love the sun, love the heat, and they love to climb up as sweet potatoes are vining, growing crop. If you have started growing potatoes like I have, sometime during spring season, I have these stunners growing in 20-gallon size containers. They're almost ready for harvest. And you know what? I'm going to go through my harvest and repurpose some of these potatoes. If there's one potato that's smaller, or maybe it's off in color just a bit, don't throw it away, guys. Replant it. It's super easy. I make my own seed potatoes, which have a video available on my gardening channel, Gardening Cold Spring Harbor, how I use store-bought potatoes to make my own seed potatoes, so I never have to waste another dollar at a garden center. I also have a video on my gardening channel how I show you step by step how I plant and grow my potatoes in these 20-gallon size plastic recyclable containers. So if you're interested and see how I plant and grow my potatoes, check that video out as well. It's still available on my gardening channel. Crop number 6, which is perfect to grow now in the month of July, are our peppers. No matter where you are in the country, there is still plenty of time to grow and harvest peppers. Anything from your traditional bell pepper varieties to something a bit more exotic, like your cayenne pepper, your jalapenos, ghost peppers, even banana peppers. I have beautiful peppers growing right over here. Look how much fruit they're actually producing. Peppers love the sun and the heat of summer months. What is that crop number 7, which you absolutely must plant now in the month of July? This crop, classic crop, screams summer, and that crop is corn. I know the majority of us home gardeners have already planted corn sometime around the spring season, and we're getting ready, if not already, harvesting those juicy, crunchy corn on the cobs. However, if you want more and more corn, if you want to harvest corn around Labor Day, now the month of July is the perfect time to plant second round of corn. Corn will germinate in a matter of days, grow and be ready for harvest around Labor Day holiday. Look at this beautiful corn I have growing right over here. Look at all this corn that is forming. I haven't yet harvested this round of corn crop yet, but I will be planting more corn this week so I and my family can enjoy the second harvest around Labor Day holiday. 8th crop, which you must absolutely plant and grow now in the month of July, that crop is beans, but not just any beans, summer beans. Hot, summer loving classic crop. Who doesn't like those healthy, crunchy beans? I have multiple bean varieties growing right over here. Look at all these beautiful white blooms. I know that many home gardeners are reluctant to plant and grow beans because they feel like beans need a trellis, climbing support. Not all bean varieties, my fellow home gardeners. If you don't have a trellis, if you have nowhere for them to climb, plant bush bean summer varieties. These don't take so much space. Just take a look right over here. They're very compact and they're very happy exactly where they are. And look at all those new beans forming right over there. Can't wait to see them grow. Can't wait to harvest them and enjoy them for a delicious, healthy summer dinner. That ninth crop, which you must absolutely plant now in the month of July. That crop is our winter squash. Pumpkins, winter squash, butternut squash, acorn squash. Any, if not all of them. Why? Because those stunners take at least 4 months from sowing to harvest, which is why you should plant them now in the month of July, so you're ready to harvest them early fall season. In fact, majority of winter squash take much longer than that from sowing to harvest. Hence, they'll be ready for harvest right before your first anticipated frost date. There are so many beautiful varieties which you can plant and grow. Plus, they have perfect storage life. As soon as the weather starts to cool down, your garage or your basement start to cool off, they'll be perfect places for you to store your winter squash. I have already planted beautiful pumpkins right over here. Look how beautifully they're growing right over there. I'm already offering them some supports right over here. I have acorn squash growing, butternut squash, spaghetti squash, various pumpkin varieties. I have red curry winter squash growing. I have the Long Island cheese pumpkins growing right over here in my home garden. Look how huge and beautiful this Long Island cheese pumpkin is. You know what? I have plenty of vegetables to harvest and eat right now with my family. But these starters will be ready for harvest right before my first anticipated frost date, which is sometime around end of October, beginning of November. So if you're looking for the delicious fall harvest, plant those winter squash right now in the month of July. Is that crop number 10, which you must absolutely plant and grow now in the month of July, or crops, if I may say that. Those are our root veggies, our beets and carrots. I know that many of us home gardeners associate those two root veggies with cooler spring seasons. However, those guys are biennials, which means that they will not bolt, will not go to flower nuts during the hot summer months. I have beautiful beets planted right over here in this raised garden bed, which we planted together with you, my fellow home gardeners. Look how beautiful these guys look. And I'm just getting ready to harvest them. But the more I harvest, the more I plant. I succession sow all of my root vegetables throughout the entire summer season and into the fall season as well. The one thing you must stay on top of if you're planting and growing carrots and beets, whether it's spring or summer seasons, you must stay on top of moisture content. Make sure you give them plenty and plenty of moisture, and help those guys out with adding 2 to 3 inches of natural mulch on top of the soil level to retain the moisture content, and they will be very happy for you to grow even during these hot summer months. For those of you, my fellow home gardeners who stuck around with me till the very end of this video, I'm going to share one bonus crop which you absolutely must sow and grow now in the month of July. That 11th crop is basil. Basil is a great crop to grow directly in the soil of our home garden, in a raised garden bed, even in a pot or a container like I'm growing right over here. This time of the year, basil seeds can be directly sown. They will germinate in a matter of days and will be ready for harvest before you even know it. One thing you must stay on top of is your basil bolting, flowering, and going to seed on you during these hot air temperatures. How can you prevent this? How can you stay on top of it? You should always pinch off the leaves of your basil plant before they reach full maturity. This is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today in my home garden in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. In today's video, I shared with you not 1, not 5, but 10 crops which you must sow and grow now in the month of July. For those of you who enjoyed the content of today's video, if you found today's video to be useful, helpful, and informative, and absolutely anyway, don't be shy, guys. Super easy for you to do, super pleasing and rewarding to me. Show me that support by clicking thumbs up below. Leave your comments in the comment section as well. Let me know what crops have you planted and are growing now in the month of July. For those of you who haven't yet subscribed to my gardening channel, Gardening Cold Spring Harbor, what are you waiting for, guys? Super easy for you to do, super pleasing and rewarding to me. Go below this video and click the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the content of my videos and want YouTube to send you notifications every single time I'll upload a new garden video, don't forget to click the bell icon as well. Stay healthy, happy, be well, enjoy this beautiful summer weather, and get on out there and get those hands nice and dirty. And as I always like to say, happy gardening, guys, and I'll see you again in my new upcoming garden videos. Bye, guys.